All right, what's up from Vegas? I have one of the most remarkable 49ers updates that I have ever given. They essentially have no injury report ahead of Super Bowl 58. That is right, there are no active players on the 49ers injury report. Eric Armstead with his foot is good to go, fully off of the injury report. George Kittle with his toe is good to go, fully off of the injury report. Ambry Thomas with his ankle is good to go, fully off the injury report. And Oren Burks with his shoulder is good to go, fully off the injury report. This is the last injury report that we're going to get before Super Bowl 58 here in Las Vegas on Sunday. None of those guys are on it. The only one that is on it just for technical purposes is Kalia Davis, the defensive tackle, because he's coming off of IR, or has the window to come off of IR. I don't think they're going to activate him. They just had him practice here at the end of the season, so they have to list him as questionable, but for all intents and purposes, Kalia Davis is healthy too. This is the kind of health that the 49ers have dreamed of for years. Again, an injury report that doesn't have anybody on it. The 49ers have dreamed of this for years, and now they have it ahead of Super Bowl 58. They haven't been this healthy ever in the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch era, and they're in a position now where they need to cash in and capitalize in Super Bowl 58. The 49ers today held a walkthrough at UNLV. They made it through the week on the poor, soft turf. They can be thankful for that. No injuries on that turf. That obviously was a concern for San Francisco. They're having a team barbecue tonight. The 49ers have a fan event going on the Strip tonight, and then it's going to be a long wait on Saturday. The good news, though, for the 49ers is that on Sunday, they play at 3:30 local time. They don't play at 6:30 local time. It was 6:30 local time for the 49ers in Miami 4 years ago because it was Eastern time, right? The fact that this is on Pacific time is going to make it a little bit easier for San Francisco to pass the time before they play the Chiefs. It has been an interesting week, to say the least, here in Las Vegas, as you'd expect. Obviously, there was the fire alarm that went off in the 49ers team hotel. That was on, Thursday morning at about 6:02, 6:03 a.m. I can tell you for a fact that Christian McCaffrey and Nick Bosa were not happy. Both of those guys will be motivated. I can tell you for a fact that the Chiefs do not have a good run defense. And that run defense ranks number 27 DVOA in the National Football League. When you look at that, you see Christian McCaffrey, the rushing champion, your new offensive player of the year, officially named by the AP at the NFL Honors. You look at that and you say, wow, this team is in position to really, really exploit a Chiefs defense that is good against the pass but poor against the run. Now, Brock Purdy's going to have to set that up. And based on everything that I've heard, Brock Purdy has had a fantastic week of practice. Brock Purdy had an MVP season, a fantastic campaign for the 49ers, distributing the football, moving away from pressure, manipulating the pocket. If he does that, passes to set up the run, the 49ers should be in the position of power against this Kansas City defense. On the other side of the ball, of course, you've got Patrick Mahomes. Of course, we got the football helmets here, by the way, in Las Vegas. This is the Aria in Las Vegas. You've got the decorations out because the greatest player that the game has seen in quite some time, and Patrick Mahomes, is on the other side. And the 49ers do need to stop him. But they won't have Joe Thuney on the other side. That's the other component of my 49ers update. The Kansas City Chiefs' best offensive lineman, Joe Thuney, is injured. He's got a pectoral strain or tear, maybe a little bit of both. He's not going to be available for this game against the 49ers. They're going to start Nick Allegretti in his place. And guess what? Javon Hargrave, the big money 49ers acquisition, just so works out that Javon Hargrave lines up against left guard 92% of the time. So you have Javon Hargrave, who was signed for this very reason for the 49ers. They brought him in to work against left guards. He's been one of the most productive interior pass rushers in the league against left guards, and now Joe Thuney, the best lineman on the Chiefs and a left guard, is not available for this game. So that matchup works in the 49ers' favor. Obviously, they have to stop the run, and Javon Hargrave has struggled a little bit against the run. But I think that the 49ers are ready for this challenge. I think they're ready to make the machinations that they need to against the run. It's going to start with setting hard, good edges. And that, obviously, that's a Nick Bosa thing. That is a Chase Young thing on the other end. That's going to be something Randy Gregory has to do when he's in the game. But also the gaps and the linebacker blitzes, controlling those gaps, that's going to be so important. And that comes down to the linebackers, Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. And I think that they're going to be ready for this game as well. So it's a titanic matchup. There's going to be all pros all over the field. All pro matchups on both sides. You're going to see Fred Warner covering Travis Kelce. On the other side of the ball, when we're not talking about Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy, we're going to be talking about guys like Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, who's an all-pro this season. The talent is across the board for San Francisco, and there's a whole heck of a lot of talent for Kansas City in this game as well. So it's going to be one of those where, yeah, these two teams have already played for a Super Bowl, and it's no surprise that they're playing for another one. What I think is really important is both of these teams, and the 49ers especially, since we're talking about them in this video, they have to get into the right headspace now over the course of the next 40-something hours before kickoff. And a team full of veterans, a team that has been through heartbreak, a team that has seen triumphs over the past several seasons, but has also seen several scars. I think that they're in better position to do this than just about anybody. And there is so much riding on this. It is a legacy game for the San Francisco 49ers. You look at the fact that 2019, Super Bowl 54, that was a legacy game, but only if they won. They didn't need to win for their legacy. They needed to win. It was house money, I think, in 2019. They might have been a year ahead of schedule. The loss was devastating, but it wasn't like what we're looking at here in 2023, 24 now, actually. 49ers are in a position where they've got to win or they start facing some serious questions about their ability to go all the way as a team that can hoist that Lombardi trophy. So it's a legacy game, both for the perspective of winning and from the perspective of losing. And that's why they have to be buckled up and ready to go for Sunday over the next 40 hours, because the stakes are going to be tremendous. There's a casino right behind me. There are definitely poker tables in this casino behind me, and the 49ers have definitely pushed a lot of chips into the middle of the table. I'm not saying that a loss would mean that it's all over, but a loss would be the most gut-wrenching one so far in a series of scars for the 49ers. And there have been so many triumphs over the course of the past several seasons that it really does feel like it is time for them to break through and earn that Super Bowl trophy. And that's why I bring it back to this update and to the injury report. For years, including that 2020 season when the 49ers had the longest injury report, the most money ever put on injured reserve, they've been through hell as far as injuries go. They've been praying, they've been hoping for an injury report that is as short or non-existent as the one that they got today. And guess what? They now have a completely empty injury report entering the biggest game of this era, one of the biggest games in franchise history. The injury report is empty. The 49ers are ready for Super Bowl 58. I'm going to give you guys a little scene here from the Aria. The drum band came by the 49ers bar. They started doing their thing, and then everybody broke into a Let's Go Niners chant. So you can check that out as the 49ers celebrate their good news as they prepare for the big game on Sunday here in Las Vegas.